What's up? We are live. Waiting for a few of you guys to get in here. What's up? A couple people trickling in. So this will be a live Amazon Q&A or whatever else you guys want to ask me about. And if you're watching this in the future, what's up? Also, because this is going to be posted to the channel afterwards. Jesus, Elizabeth, Brendan, Odie, what's up? ODI Productions, legit affiliate marketer. Rowdy King's Clothing, David Rodriguez, Cortland Maxfield, Brendan again, what's up? Awesome, man. You guys have questions? Let's get started. How's the stream? Is it bad? Is it choppy? Are we a little better than last time maybe? Lag fixed. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't really change anything about that, but I changed some settings in the streaming software. Chris McCauley, do you create landing pages to collect buyer emails? That is definitely a great tactic. Something that I still need to move forward with more. I've done it a bit, but I mean, just going down the rabbit hole of Facebook ads and email lists. That's the stuff that's gonna separate sellers moving forward. Ties in with building a brand. Um, yeah, I mean, I've used ClickFunnels a bit. I'm a big fan of that. Big obstacles to overcome prepping for Q4 this year. I mean, the biggest obstacle is always that balance between how, like, I don't want to miss out on sales, but I also don't want to leverage and buy so much inventory that if for some reason things don't go well, that you're just screwed with like 10 years worth of inventory. So that's really the biggest obstacle is just inventory projection. Stream is good, clean stream, awesome. Connection doing good. Cortland, I think I found a product, but was wondering if you could take a look at it. For more of that, I mean, I do like one-on-one consultations and stuff. It's always the first link in the description. We would probably have to go into one of those to like have me hands-on digging into it with you. You can try to shoot me a link if I have time. I'm always answering as many questions as I can, but stuff like that is usually a little more like digging and one-on-one style. Joy Gift Store. Hey, Matt. How much profit per product is good? Do you think $4 is too little? I generally do think $4 is too little because you need room to be able to get it out there, meaning advertising spend. And $4, like sure, you might be able to calculate it like, oh my God, I can sell 100 a day at $4. That's $400 a day. That's fantastic. But the reality of it is like, to be able to get to that level of sales, you're probably going to have to invest a lot in advertising, and $4 might mean $0, might mean negative dollars. So I think it's a little tricky, honestly. Mike Valle, how many products do you currently sell? I have 35 or so. How do you optimize PPC? So my personal outlook on PPC is that there are a lot of sales that are not attributed to PPC, and there's a lot of benefits that are not necessarily showing in your direct ROI of PPC because it's just helping you get out there. So I'm more looking at how much PPC spend versus my overall sale, and if that's profitable, I'm pretty happy. So I'm not like hyper optimizing PPC. That said, I do optimize. So I always start with an automatic campaign on any new product because why not? You should see what it does. And you can also pull you can pull reports of the auto campaigns later on and then use that to find specific keywords that are converting, create manual campaigns. And then, yeah, so I have manual campaigns as well. Anything that's doing horribly, I trim the fat and I keep anything doing relatively good going. I mean, that's about it. I scale. If it's really profitable, I try to spend more. If it's really not profitable, I try to spend less. Knowledge Mentor. Hey, one question. Can you tell your suppliers to send all your products directly to FBA? So there's something called DDP, which means duties prepaid for air shipping. A lot of people are a fan of that. If you're gonna airship directly to Amazon, it has to be duties prepaid because otherwise Amazon's gonna get hit with like the import bill, which they do not want happening, and so You can't do that. But that's not what I do. So I use a freight forwarder because pretty much 95% or more at this point of my products come by sea. So I have them go into I have my freight forwarder get them from China into the freight forwarder's U.S. warehouse, and that's where they palletize or put on the UPS or FedEx labels and then have it go that last leg. So I don't touch it, but it doesn't exactly go direct. It goes from the factory to the freight forwarder's warehouse to Amazon. Rowdy King Clothing, launch strategy. Volume is key to getting ranked, right? Say the average is 15 a day sales on first page. Can I buy my own product to trick Amazon to get ranked? You can if you would like to get banned and shut down. You cannot buy your own product. So definitely don't do that. I mean, and like I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of the giveaways and stuff since Amazon has changed the rules in what my opinion is a pretty clear fashion. A lot of people are still doing it. But yeah, I mean, I'm about real sales. I want real sales. I want real advertising to real people to create some real customers, and then follow up with those real customers for real reviews. That's just my philosophy since the rule change. Does product research really take that long? I mean, it just varies. Like some people will never find a good product if they're not thinking about it the right way. But like, I mean, there are people that find a product in a day. I mean, if I got on, I could probably find a product right now. There's plenty of opportunities. It's just that the giant, crazy gold rush is not necessarily open anymore. Do you advertise your products only with Amazon PPC, or do you use social platforms also? I still spend by far the most on Amazon itself, but I do use social platforms as well. David Rodriguez, are you doing FBA at the moment? All of my products ship by FBA, so I don't house any inventory. Cortland, how many reviews is too much competition? So there's really no set number. It depends on the depth of that market. If it's a big market with a lot of opportunity, a lot of sellers doing well, and the top ones have a lot of reviews, I mean, there's still probably a lot of chance. So check out how the ones further down the list are doing that maybe have 50 or 100 reviews. If they're still doing well, why not? But I mean, if it's these big players doing well and then a bunch of little guys that are just being slaughtered, stay away. Dante, hey Matt, can you talk a little bit about choosing a supplier? What are sketchy things to look for? How do you find good quality products and not just traders that are reselling? So, I mean, sketchy thing. I mean, and for me, a lot of it comes down to just like pure communication. Like, how well is that supplier presenting themselves on Alibaba? Are they responding to me in a way that makes sense? So, I mean, honestly, that's like my first big filter. So, if they seem sketchy, or they're not responding, or they're not really answering my questions, they're basically excluded. So, if you're looking at a product that has pages and pages of suppliers, send them all the same list of 10 questions. Whatever. I mean, I could go into like what types of questions I'd have to check, but it's pretty straightforward type of stuff that you would think to ask. And I mean, sketchy. I mean, I've never really had a problem with like scams. It's just that some suppliers aren't going to have the same quality. So and straight up ask them if they're a trader or the manufacturer. And after you feel good about a few of them, get samples from 2 to 4 of them. I would say. Sleepless City, what's up? Thanks, dude, for always being first on my videos. I'm planning to start next year. When should I best start? Q1 or Q2? So the answer is always going to be that sooner is better. So I can't think of a single reason why you would wait until Q2 instead of Q1. Because even if Q2 is better than Q1, if you're starting to get a little traction and get your listing established in Q1, you're going to be better off for Q2. Whereas if you start in Q2, you're just going to be in that situation you could have been in 3 months before. Nick, can you talk about how you find a product that isn't just a private label stuck on product that anyone can copy? I mean, you might have to start with more private label, but use those profits to reinvest into more sort of like an advancement of your product, which it's going to cost you a lot more. I have products that I've invested $50,000 into developing, but that's not what I was doing day one. But I like sort of rolled profits into the more developed products. But I mean, you can look at the negative reviews of your competitors, see if there's little things you can tweak. it can be basic stuff. It can be colors. It can just be your branding. It can be the way you package your item. It can be like using a slightly different material on one piece of it, or using like an accent color on some little, like, I don't know, if your product has a zipper, like maybe a colored zipper, or maybe like metal zippers instead of plastic. Stuff like little things like that. And you can just ask your supplier, can you do that? Like, just get a conversation going with your supplier. Michael Kelly, hey Matt, good to see you, man. You too. How much capital did you start FBA with? So go check out my video called it's called From Like 0 to 2.5 million in sales, my full story. I really talk about it there, but my first FBA like product order was only about $800, but that would be hard to do now because it was more wide open back then. But it's still very possible to do now, but I recommend a solid few grand to start now. Elliot Choi, hey, what's up? Ninja250, what's up? So you don't mind sending your item straight to Amazon from the manufacturer. So like I said, I do it directly in a sort of indirect way with my freight forwarder. But yeah, no, I mean, that's what I do. I mostly do that with no, that's not correct. I mean, I do that with suppliers that I'm already established with and I know the quality. But if I'm doing it with a new supplier, I'll just do I'll do an inspection before the shipment. Is it hard to get ungated as a new seller? To be honest, I'm not an expert in ungating, but I mean, there are ways to do it. There are services you can pay. There's always people sort of posting like little tricks here and there. So, I mean, it's doable for sure. I mean, I'm probably going to look into some of those categories myself. Incoterms DDP, yep, delivery duty paid, exactly. How do sales look today for you? Honestly, I have not even checked. I have not even logged in. But in general, September, October is my worst time of the year. So my sales have been definitely a bit lower, but I mean, I'm just waiting for like mid to late November right now because hopefully everything goes well, but Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then that rolling into all the way up until December 23rd, that's what my eyes are 100% on that time period right now. So I don't even really care what's going on right now. How much is a good minimal profitable startup investment for first timers? A lot of people will tell you under 1,000, but I mean, it's possible. It's for sure possible, but it's just going to be harder. So I think, having a few grand at least is an advantage, and being able to risk more than 6 grand or something is even more of an advantage, most likely. Do you plan to start getting sales from other channels like your own shop? I already do that. It's just on a very small scale. I have 2 different Shopify stores for 2 of my brands. Peter Kim, how long have you been selling on FBA for? 3 years. Hi Matt, I'm driving now and just pulled over to type a question. Oh my God, that's legit. Who would you recommend for first time sea shipping? So the freight forwarder that I use for pretty much almost everything at this point, so I tried to ask them if I could, because now I'm getting this question all the time, right? So I was like, maybe I can send them a whole bunch of clients and maybe they would help me out or whatever. But they basically told me that they only want to deal with clients that are a little bit bigger. So if it's your first time, sadly, mine is not going to really want to take you. They're looking for people at the full container level. So I can't really just give out my contact. If you're at the full container level, though, let me know. But I've heard good things about Flexport. I haven't personally used them, but I've heard good things. So you might want to check them out. I want to get ungated in medical supplies and equipment. Yeah, I really have no experience there, but just research that and try to find specific experiences with that category, I would say. Knowledge Mentor, where do you say that you're going to be live next? So next time I will be here. Twitter? I don't really use Twitter. I didn't really announce this too much. I posted it on my Instagram at Matt Loberstein 20 minutes ago. But what I did do is I scheduled it on YouTube last night. So you should have been able to see it in your subscriptions feed since last night that it was scheduled for this time. Let me know if you guys did see that, because I thought you would have seen that. Seb, how do you go about picking another product for FBA PL brand? So you're saying if you already have a brand. So the first place I'm going to look is what are people buying? It's the frequently bought together. It's literally right there on the page. What are people buying with that item? And you can find a lot from there. Other than that, look at look at real brands in your niche. What else is in their product line? What else would your same customer be interested in and already trust you for? Hey from Denver, what's up? You've inspired me just last Thursday while bumping into your video. That's awesome. Keep making videos. Today I'll be watching all your videos to get pointers. That's awesome, dude. I really, really appreciate that. For all of you, go back and check out my videos. The response from all of you guys has just been amazing. I've been getting comments and messages every day saying that people just appreciate my transparency and just being real about it. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I really appreciate those comments. Would you take your time to develop the right product or jump in with something average, similar to competition, to get in for Christmas? So I've already been saying for basically weeks at this point that you don't want to rush in for Christmas at this point. It's a little too late. So I would not rush in for Christmas right now. Unless you've already sort of found that product and sort of figured things out and you're really on just the edge of yeah, they have it and they can get it to you immediately. Otherwise, I would just, sit back, take a breath, plan for 2018 at this point. What general suggestions would you give someone to start the process of product research? Okay, so product research is the question, as always. My last video, I talked about some higher level sort of philosophies around product research. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. For me, the number one is existing sales volume. If I'd want to see existing sales volume, even if it's competitive. It being competitive is, those obstacles are a chance for you to succeed, right? So if it's competitive, that means if you do better, you're getting a piece of that pie. So, for me, number one is existing sales volume, and then the right amount of competition that I feel like I can get into the mix and do well. That's really the answer. Something, and preferably something I can build out a brand around and be a little more long-term in my thinking about it. Kassan, I appreciate your videos. Do you test the products on the market before going all in? How much do you recommend spending? So, sure, at first I did. Like I said, my very first product, I spent only about $800, and that was a bit of a test, but it made things really hard because I kept going out of stock and all of that. So, now I don't get in a product for less than even if right now I have a little accessory thing and it's nothing, it's tiny, and I still spent I think $3 or $4 just on getting that started, and that's not even a real product launch. It's just an accessory to one of my products. I have a product that I'm about to start in the next few weeks or so, and I spent $10,000 on my very first. I got 2,000 units. So you're not going to probably do that day one, but that's how I sort of go about it at my current level. Vadim, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. How important is BSR? Super important. BSR is the only real way to figure out how well that product is doing and has been doing. So yeah, it ties into what I was just saying about existing sales volume. BSR is the thing. What is your overall Amazon FBA profit margin? So before ads, it's most of my products are in the 35 to 45% range, and I spend a lot on ads, so it gets down to the 20% range. But that's 20% of the total Amazon of the total Amazon revenue, which is not even what you're seeing because a chunk comes out to Amazon right away. So it's yeah, I think you guys understand what I'm saying. Hey Matt, love your work. Do you know anything about the necessary documentation for a non-US citizen to start selling on Amazon? I'm not super experienced in that. If I'm assuming you're asking as not living in the US, so he would just really have to figure out the legal tax situation of doing business in the US. But what I do know is that tons of people are doing it, so it can't be that complicated. And then once you've sort of figured out the legal tax situation, you're in the same position as everybody else. I could be in Australia doing what I'm doing. It's really no difference. I know people killing it in the US Amazon that are in Canada, and tons that are in Europe. So, wherever you are, you can figure it out. Thanks for the info, super motivational. Thanks. Ungating is cheap, LOL. Yes, it's probably worth it. James Rail, are you doing anything to encourage customers who have purchased your products to go back and actually do a review? Simply sending a follow-up email, even with value, just doesn't seem to be enough. That's basically what I'm doing. I try to send some nice emails. I've found that it really varies on the product. I have products that have tons of reviews from doing exactly what you just described, I think it's sort of inherent to the product. Is this something that people are excited about talking about, or is it just purely a utilitarian product? Then they're not going to be as excited to leave a review. But yeah, I mean, maybe try tweaking your email sequence a little bit. You just want to be careful to not use language that could seem manipulative, because that can get you banned. It has to be just like straightforward, like, hey, leave a review. You can't be like, if you liked it, leave a review. If you didn't like it, contact me so I can fix it. That type of stuff can get you banned at this point. Do you have videos on building your brand off Amazon? Not really yet, but that's for sure going to be like, I mean, I'm doing this for the long haul, guys. So always give me your video ideas. I mean, they're all going to be made in the course of forever. So that's to come. Building your brand off Amazon. And truthfully, I made this channel not just to be like, hey guys, look how great I am. This is what I've done. It's like it's also a documentation of my progress. And that's a lot of what I'm doing. Like, I have this core brand, my top brand, that I really want to build into I mean, it could be a global brand. It has that potential market size. So I'm sort of still like doing that as well. Overall profit margin, I talked about that. Have you invested in Bitcoin? So I should have I was super into it, like, probably 5 years ago. My friend was mining Bitcoin, and like I had like a little bit, I converted it to Litecoin. But now, I mean, the amount that I still have now, because back then I didn't have any money to invest, it's worth like, I mean, under $1,000 what I have left. So I'm basically not invested in it. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is a long conversation. Mr. Jimbo Doc, what's up? Thanks for being in the first one. Is it better for first-timers to drop ship to Shopify to get a grip on the process before selling through Amazon fulfillment centers? Honestly, those things are so different. Drop shipping, I don't really think it would help. Like, it's not going to shorten your learning curve of Amazon. It's similar, but it's unrelated. I don't know. I don't think it would exactly matter. Ninja 250-ish. Have you tried viral launch software? They've been around for years. They were doing it before the review change, and now they're doing it after the review change. Therefore, no thanks. Any thoughts on Amazing Selling Machine? They were like sort of the original Amazon course. They charged like, I don't know, $6,000 or something. That's a lot of money. That's my only thought. How much profit do you have to hit till you launch your second product? It all depends on your personal financial situation. Immediately, if you have the money and you want to take the risk, it's just all about leverage. Swedish Viking in the house. Go Matt. Whoa, that's crazy. You're the first Swedish Viking in the live chat. Hello from Beijing, China. Hello. Brad, aware. Seb, have you thought of working with Facebook ads and funnels, or are you just sticking with Amazon? Definitely, 100%. I mean, like I've said before, those are the things that are going to allow us to go next level. And I already play with those things, but I mean, I know the power of Facebook ads and funnels. I mean, I could build out that core brand into a multi-million-dollar business outside of Amazon just with Facebook ads, funnels, content, like ambassador programs and collaborations with other influencers and stuff. I mean, it's everything. It's everything at the same time. As well as with ungating, give me a message if you need help with the downline. Cool, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone into gated categories myself, but any category can work. I've seen it. Loving the content, by the way. Such great value in every video. Thank you. I'm getting a little behind on the questions. I'm going to try to get to everyone going to try to cut it off before 30 minutes because I feel like that gets really long. But you guys are so awesome with all the questions. Jeez. What's the best way to hard launch a product? The hard launch strategy, I assume you mean like sort of like the blasted day one. That's not my strategy anymore, to be honest. What would you do if Chinese factory comes into your niche and sells a 5-pack of your product? Brand. It's all branding. I have Chinese sellers that are selling it for less than half of my costs. Or my price, not my costs. There's also large warehouses in Shenzhen that sell cheaper than Alibaba. Cool. I'm sure like people with connections on the ground in China, better prices. Do you gauge competitiveness primarily by reviews? I mean, competitiveness more so has to do with the number of competitors than the reviews. Reviews matter, but they're a little overrated, and that could be probably its own video. Like if there's somebody with 2,000 reviews doing well, look at how the people with 50 reviews are doing. If they're doing well, cool. If they're doing terribly, not good. Do you have any suggestions, websites that can make company logos for reasonable prices? I mean, probably like Upwork, stuff like that. Personally, I have a designer on my team through Online Jobs. You can check the link. But that's more for like long-term employees who, yeah, I mean, not really like one-off tasks. How does one market on Amazon? Do you use ads? Yeah, I mean, I spend a ton on PPC and AMS. What are your thoughts on Amazon Europe? I need to get there. I'm not, and I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's smaller than the US market, but it's also going to be less competition. BSR question mark best seller rank. It displays on the product page. Scroll down to like the features and details section. Jungle Scout sales estimates. Do you trust them or use them as a rough estimate? Rough estimate, definitely. Channel's growing fast, man. Yes, it is. I'm working hard. Help me spread the word. Seriously, like if you feel that this is valuable, the one thing you could do is share it with a few friends. I would be amazingly grateful for that. Do you find that the follow-up emails asking for reviews get mostly bad reviews? No. I mean, I think that comes down to having a quality product, which I guess I should talk about that more. But I mean, a huge part of my philosophy in picking good products is I want to sell quality products. So I mean, most of my products get really good reviews naturally. Do you recommend dropshipping to build greater capital or do FBA or start with FBA? That all depends on your situation. I've never really done dropshipping. If you can get it to work though, sweet. I mean, build up that capital. Why not? I think it's legit. It's just, I don't know. It's less long term. So, but like if I were myself 4 years ago, I'd probably be trying that. Not sure if you said this yet, but do you have a separate website about your brands linked to your listings on Amazon? Or is that a no-no? You can do that, but I personally just have Shopify stores with their own checkouts. So you could set up like what looks like an e-commerce store and then just have like the add to cart link point to Amazon. That's not a no-no for sure. I mean, if anything, Amazon likes for you to send them traffic. Do you play the pricing game with your competition? I am pretty much all my products, I'm priced above my competition. What are the processes you have to take to build a brand? I mean, well, this is the long-term thing. This is building a real business. Imagine Amazon doesn't exist. How do you build a brand? How do you get people to know about your product? It's everything. It's email marketing. It's Instagram. It's Facebook. It's maybe groups. It's ambassadors and affiliates and referral programs and video content and getting your customers to rave about you. It's just everything, and that's hard. I'm not saying like. I mean, that's, again, like I said earlier, that's something that I'm in the process of. Would you ever do wholesale? I assume you mean me buying wholesale, not me selling my products wholesale. And no, not really. I'm not really into that. But I would love to sell my products wholesale to like retailers across everywhere. I mean, that would be sweet. If I have a product I am wanting to start off with, is it worth it to airship to get here on time for Black Friday? Like I've said before, if you're basically launching the day before Black Friday, you're not going to really I mean, you might sell, 5 instead of 0, but it's amplifying the traffic you already have. So I don't think you're going to kill it if Black Friday is your first day. Any plans to visit factories in China? Honestly, not really. I mean, I think there are benefits to it, but I've been doing fine without going to China. So I don't know. I think it's cool. It's not really on my immediate list of plans. What is the most important thing you would tell yourself 3 years ago when you first started that you know now? So this question, I get the question, but it's a little weird for me to answer because, I mean, the times have changed over the last 3 years. So it's like, am I telling myself as if it's 3 years ago or if I was starting now? Because if it was 3 years ago, I mean, I would have just tried to get as much investment as possible and launch as many products as possible because I know that it worked in retrospect. So I would have just done what I did times 100 and it would have been crazy. But now it's a little bit different. So, I mean, so if your question is more like what I would tell myself if I was starting now, it would be like the same things I've been telling you guys, is think about it a little longer term, be patient, you're building a real business. It's not just some like hack to get rich overnight. Do you think giveaways are necessary to launch a product? I mean, no, they're not necessary. I mean, like I said, I don't do it anymore, but a lot of people do. I only have $100 budget to advertise my product. So, I mean, you can put PPC on a credit card. Your goal with spending money on ads is to make a return. So, in theory, you should have unlimited budget. Like, think about it. Like, if you could spend $1 on ads and get back $2, you should want to spend every dollar in the world on that, right? That's obviously an example, or like a extreme, but yeah. Alonzo, I'm late, damn it. What's up? Still get your question in, there's time. Or, I mean, shoot me a DM. Do you use sites like Jungle Scout, Camel? Yes. So if you're not investing in Jungle Scout yet, you can use the free tool. You can use Camel, Amazon free calculator. There's an extension called AMZ Seller Browser that displays the BSR easily. You should be able to do it all manually and then just use Jungle Scout to speed up what you're already doing manually. But I think people that just go straight to Jungle Scout day one of learning Amazon, they actually have a disadvantage because they don't understand the manual methods. And you should understand the manual methods, then just use Jungle Scout to speed it up. So the answer is you don't need Jungle Scout. It'll just speed you up if you already have a grasp on the manual things. If you do want Jungle Scout and you like my content, you might as well use my link. They give me a small kickback. It's in the description. But again, you really don't need it. But that said, I do use it because it speeds up the process. But you should understand the process. How long was it until you were able to use Amazon as your only income? I mean, it depends on your goals. You know, for me, I didn't take out any money until like a year and a half. But that's because I've been trying to scale the whole time. You know, if you just want to make $3,000 a month or whatever, and if you get to that point and you just want to coast, I mean, that's a different story than what I've been trying to do. Do you eventually turn off PPC on your products that are doing well? Absolutely not. Do you have a team or do you plan to hire people? I do small. I mean, it's basically I have one full-time virtual employee. What's up? Do you personally use the products you sell? Yeah, I do. Not all of them, but some of them. In terms of your product pictures, do you use a service or a photographer editor who does it for you? I mean, I have a little bit of photo experience myself, so sometimes I've taken the photos, and like I said, I have that one. I have one employee. His background is all photography, graphic design, so he handles that for me. So I can't like recommend a specific service to you guys, but yeah, I mean, go pro about it for sure. Pictures are really important. Like, yeah, your content is a hybrid of entertainment, motivation, and knowledge. That's kind of what I'm going for, so I appreciate that that's coming through. Hope you keep it up. Keep us posted on Jessica's journey. I will do, or maybe she might start sharing more of it as well. Would you ever advertise your brand on your YouTube channel? So I might eventually, but not right now. Sorry, just to clarify, you use Shopify as your store and direct traffic to Amazon where you warehouse? No. So my Shopify, again, it's only a very, very, very small percentage of my sales, but for those sales, I take the payment through Shopify, but I still use Amazon's fulfillment. And does Shopify charge anything over above the monthly fee for a store? No, other than like the like credit card processing fee, which is like 2.7% or whatever. But no, it's not like there's just a monthly fee, and I think that's basically it. By the way, do you guys like if these are longer, or should I try to keep them to like 20 minutes? I always intend for these to be like 15 or 20 minutes, but then there's so many questions, I just want to keep going. So let me know if I should just cut it short and not get to all of you, or how you think I should handle that. But let me just try to power through these. I've heard Amazon changes how it indexes keywords to 250 characters now. Have you seen a difference in your older or newer products? I mean, honestly, it's changed several times over the years. I never was keyword stuffing where I was putting thousands of keywords anyways, so I don't know. I mean, I haven't really seen much change personally. Is Amazon FBA illegal in some countries? You'll have to research that. I have heard of a few, like I think African countries that they don't allow it. But I think Denmark is fine. As far as I know, don't quote me on it. Go research it. Would you seek help from European sellers when starting to sell there? I would look into people that can help me with like the VAT and legal tax help. But yeah, in Denmark we have pretty high taxes, 50% of our income. Do I have to pay personal taxes from Amazon plus taxes in Denmark? I mean, no, you're just gonna have to pay taxes on your income. There's no other tax really. Like there's no Amazon. I mean, there's sales tax, but you're probably not going to be messing with that from Denmark, I assume. I mean, I don't know. That's still such a complicated area, but yeah, I mean, you're pretty much going to have to think about your local income tax as if you were doing business any other way. Mad B, are you constantly seeking new products? Did you jump on the fidget spinners? No, no, no. I don't jump on bandwagons like that. I 1,000% would not recommend super trendy items. I look for like maybe a 5 or 10 year trend, yes, but no, no, no. I mean that is the wrong out. In my opinion, I don't care if somebody's telling me they're making 10,000 a day on fidget spinners. I'm like, cool, good for you. I'm not even interested. Same thing was true with hoverboards. All these suppliers were sending me their pricing for hoverboards. I was like, no, no, no. I'm just not going to mess with it. What sites did you source your VA from? Online Jobs. I do have an affiliate link in the description, but that's where I found them. It's the best site for finding real good quality long-term VAs. Is $3, $4, $5 a normal price for main keywords on PPC? Varies by product and it varies by competition, but that's a lot. So I would hope that you have a high price point and a lot of profit built in. Hi, bro. So much value here. Fire. Dude, thanks. Longer, longer. Okay, people like the longer. Then I'll keep going a few more minutes. What is VAT? It's like value add tax. It's a European thing. Again, I'm not selling in Europe yet, but it's just like something you need to navigate if you're going to be selling in the European markets. It's basically like there's it's sort of like sales tax as far as I understand it, but it's like 20%. So you're gonna have to like basically factor that into your selling price because it's not like you sell it for $20 and then it's a 20% charge to the customer. It's more like you're selling it for $20, but you have to factor in that you're gonna have to pay that much in VAT. So you might have to sell it for $23 or whatever. It probably seems too long to you, but to us it's all useful. Okay, cool, awesome. Do you use Amazon Repricer? No, I mean that's more for if you're selling wholesale probably because I'm not competing with other people on my listings. That's sort of the point of private label is I control this Amazon real estate. It's I'm competing against other brands, but I'm trying to position myself differently. So I have my own product, my own brand. I set the price. How to defend against price wars? I mean, if you're on one listing, I don't know. I don't do that. But as far as like comparing your brand to others, that's why you're trying to be quality and differentiated, right? What work do you have your full-time VA doing? So he's been working in my business for over a year. Everything customer service, photo related, like graphic design, all of that. Now he edits my YouTube videos. And so I might have somebody else be doing customer service and stuff pretty soon because he's getting pretty like just there's a lot of I'm trying to do a lot with YouTube and he's really doing an amazing job at the editing and I think he's enjoying it. So yeah. How much do you think is a good amount for ads on Amazon per product? I mean, like I said, if it's profitable, you should spend as much as you possibly can. If it's not profitable, you're gonna have to cut it down. I think a good place to start is experiment with $30 a day or so. I mean, at the very beginning, but that totally varies on what's happening and your own personal financial risk tolerance. How do you see this business changing in the next 5 years? It has changed since you started. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, 5 years is pretty long to think about like Amazon and FBA specifically, but that's why I talk about branding, right? Branding, I mean, and branding and building a real business is going to be around forever. I mean, that's not like a new thing. I mean, look at Nike or Coca-Cola. I mean, these are established brands that they sell on brand. So if you're trying to create an e-commerce brand, that'll still be around in 5 years. I mean, why not? But I don't know what like the Amazon private label ecosystem will be like in 5 years. But 5 years, I mean, you can do a lot in 5 years to be prepared for that. Realistically, I'd say 30-minute sessions. Yeah, I agree. I'll try to get a better hang on this in the future. How do you deal with UPC? I buy a bunch of UPC codes. And then, you use the UPC codes to create your Amazon listing, and then you get the FN SKU, you put that on your packaging. If you are experienced with Amazon FBA, do you think it's possible to make $10,000 per month? And how much do you think you make and profit your first you make no profit your first 1 to 2 months. Even if you're making profit on paper, it's all going to be rolled back into your next order. So are you talking cash flow or are you talking on paper? Because you have to be okay with making money on paper that is reinvested into your business. If that's not your outlook on this, this probably isn't even the business for you. But I do think it's possible to make $10,000 per month, but it's going to take some time in most cases. Have you ever gone through a suspension? Not for my account. I've had individual products have issues that have been resolved. If you're creating products for 5 to 7 years, do you end up marketing to the same people repeatedly? Does that help business or is it negative? I think marketing to the same people repeatedly is great. That's like retargeting your existing customers is great, or lookalike audiences and stuff like that, and offering more products to the same people that you know what they're interested in. That's great. But your pool of customers is always going to be growing and growing and growing. So that's how you build a loyal brand. Do you solely source from Alibaba? Yes, actually, I do. In terms of samples for a new product, do you think 2 to 3 suppliers is okay? Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's about what I typically would do. How much of footage do you capture per day for vlogs? That gets edited down to 5 to 10 minutes. So that was something that I struggled with at first, because at first I thought, this is going to be crazy. I'm going to be like this, like vlogger. And I'm still doing it vloggy style, but the thing is that I initially thought I'd be recording all day, basically, and just sort of showing my life. But now I'm sort of being really selective about what I'm filming. So I don't know. It's probably it's really not that much filming. If you've watched my vlogs, I'm not literally showing my entire day. It's more like I'll show some clips of stuff I'm doing, and then I'll have a few chunks of me talking for a few minutes. And so it's really not that much filming. For business write-offs, I know it's different in each country. What do you do to keep taxes lower? Is your Porsche a business vehicle? You need a CPA. I'm still working on trying to figure out ways to legally get my taxes down. I think my CPA it's not like a business vehicle where the whole thing, definitely not, but it is, a portion of the Porsche is written off because a portion of my driving is used for business and a portion of my gas is used for business. And so a portion of my insurance is used for business. So yeah, there are percentages. What are your profit margins? Talked about this, but it's probably 35 to 45% before ads, and then I spend a lot on ads, so it gets down to 20% in the range. I want to buy a UPC, but it's telling me $250 for one. So this is an ongoing controversy about the, what is it called? The GS1 barcodes versus the other ones. I've never heard of anybody having an issue with the cheaper ones. If you're really, really worried and want to really grow long term and it's worth it to you for that peace of mind, go for it. But I'll tell you honestly, what I'm doing is not that. And yeah, I might have to have some complicated issue eventually. It's possible, but haven't really had an issue. Out of your products, how much does your best and worst product make in sales per month? It varies. I have the whole spectrum of products, So I have products that everything's, like I said, this month is not my typical. It's gone. I have individual products that are doing 75 units a day, and I have products that are basically dead that I need to just move on from. So it all varies. Do you and Jessica ever fight? Yes. In your opinion, and I'm gonna wrap this up in 1 minute. I'm gonna just try to power through these last couple questions. In your opinion, after choosing necessary product research and choosing a product that you think will work, is there such thing as a failing product? Do you Yeah, I just kind of just mentioned that. If a product is just not working and I've been going at it and it's just gotten screwed up, yeah, I just move on. Great content, bro. Love the extra fly Playa watches. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna make a video about my watch collection. Put me in your vlog. I'm probably gonna shoot a video today, but I don't have the camera right here. Comments slowed down. Look like we were done. Yep. Selling about gated categories. Pay somebody to get it. Do you include oversized products? I personally don't have anything classified as oversized, but I do have things that are relatively heavy and need to ship by sea and all of that. Is there a cutoff for new sellers this year? It is not. They haven't said. That's really the only answer. There might be, but it's not confirmed. 100% brands win. Love the philosophy. Yep. She seems pissed when you didn't know the name of her Lexus. I just had like a brain fart. I don't know. We bought that. I mean, it's like we both use that car. I just forgot the number. Do you recommend using Facebook ads when starting a product or just maximize the PPC? Look, if you know Facebook ads, do it. But don't dwell if you don't. And you should push PPC either way. Where's Jessica now? She's in the other room. Okay, I caught up. So let's call it there. Thank you all so much for being in here. And I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to try to do this a couple times per week right now. And again, if you're really liking this content, help me get the word out a bit. That would be my biggest ask for you. Is I just want to grow this channel. I want to have a bigger pool of people that are interested in this, and it's just going to be a lot of fun as it grows. So that's my ask for you. Is tell your friends that are interested in entrepreneurship, and I would really, really appreciate that. I think that's about it. If you're watching the replay, make sure you subscribe. I assume you live guys are already subscribed, but yeah, make sure you subscribe. I'm making a lot of content about what I've done to build my business to this point, what I'm doing to grow it past this point, and I'm doing this for the long haul. So it's going to be interesting. So follow along, and peace.